What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over the split squat. Now, the split squat is an exercise that I use with my clients and myself as well. It's great for earlier beginner clients, just learning how to do it with body weight, but it's also one that you can strengthen up a ton. It's great for thigh development, back and front side, more athletic strength. It'll help your stride. You'll feel stronger as you walk around, and also just hip stability, knee health, lower back health. It's a great movement that can be progressed very well for strength and even into harder progressions like Bulgarian split squats, and then on to single leg Romanian deadlifts and this type of stuff. So this is where it starts out. I'm going to go over basically just how to do it properly, show you a couple demos, show you kind of what it's supposed to look like, and then take you on to kind of common mistakes and how to fix those, and then some programming implications in terms of what sets and reps to use and where to go from there. So I usually tell people to take a big stride. Back heel is off the ground always. So as I go down into it, my back heel is off the ground. Most of my weight is on my front foot at the midfoot and heel, so not on my toes. As I go down straight, I'm dropping straight down, come back up, the knee straightens out. I'm tall, I'm stable. If you want to think about how long to make the stride, what I would just do is drop down to your knee. I'm basically in a clean half kneeling position with 90-degree angles right here, 90 degrees, and I pop back up. And as I drop back down, my knee comes forward a little bit, but my shin is mostly vertical, and my torso is angled forward a little bit as you see this straight line from shoulder, hip, and back knee. I'll just show you a couple more. So that's how to do the split squat. From here, we'll go into some ways that people kind of have trouble with it. We'll go into who it's best for and how to program it later as well. In terms of the split squat, because I actually find it's a good goal to get into for just about anyone, I'm actually going to go into who it's not great for. People who are just starting out in the gym, maybe poor hip mobility, or even people who are, weak, that haven't been training for a long time, people who've been sedentary for a lot of years, it may not be the first place to go because putting all your body weight on one leg at a time may actually be too challenging. So in those cases, stick to squat variations, deadlift variations, and different exercises that you're using both legs at a time, and then worry about the mobility, maybe some stretching and some mobility drills, and then get on to split squat. That also goes for people who are overweight as well, who may not have a strength problem, but handling your body weight in a split squat maybe something you want to do after you lose some weight first, or even just get even stronger. As far as the different mistakes people make with the split squat, the first one is usually stride length. So like I went over in the first one, the way to figure out your stride length, you can actually just get down into half kneeling. So there's 90-degree angles here, 90-degree angles through here. You're looking at this box through that I'm making with my leg and back leg, and then pop back up. And that's basically going to be your stride. As far as the second mistake people tend to make, it actually looks like what you're going to look at is people will go down and then they'll lead forward. And this is usually people that want to use their quad more than their hip. So they're getting onto the balls of their feet. They're trying to use their quads more, so they're just kind of leaning on this side. It could actually be a hip mobility issue, which I'll get into the next one. But basically, if you can't do it in a way that you have a balanced weight on your foot, you may need better awareness in terms of just like actually focusing on that. Or it could be just that you may have to go to a regression, like doing exercises on 2 legs at a time, like squats and deadlifts, or doing step ups, or even holding onto a TRX as you learn it, or holding onto a bar. The third thing tends to be whether it's either a mobility issue at the hips, it could be a strength issue like I just talked about, or it could be actually a core activation issue. It's hard to figure out, but in a lot of cases, it's actually just an awareness issue. And what it looks like is you'll see someone go down, and this box that I created right here ends up looking more like this. So they're almost bringing sometimes this is a hip flexor issue. So the hip flexor is short and you might actually need to foam roll it. From this side, it would look like this. The knee draws in instead of stretches back. That could be like foam rolling and stretching, like doing some hip flexor stretching. Sometimes that's actually a lack of stiffness in the core. And sometimes that's actually just like a lack of awareness around it. So sometimes what I'll do to see is actually just put something right here for a client and have them reach their knee behind the box. So I'll make sure I'm set up right. And make sure that the knee doesn't come out over, but it actually stretches back And now I actually feel more of a stretch right here, which is what you'll notice. And it's not your hip, it's not your quad activating, it's actually just a stretch. The fourth mistake with a split squat is actually hard to call a mistake per se. However, it is something you want to watch out for. And you'll see this a lot with women, although you will see it with men as well. Women tend to be more quad dominant. They like to use their quads, and they also tend to not want to train their quads as much as their glutes and hamstrings. Not always, but in the most cases, yes. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how to spot a split squat that looks like it's going to hit your quads a lot more, and one that actually hits your glutes and hamstrings more. So the one for the quads is going to involve the knee going forward a lot and your torso staying more upright. So if you watch people do split squats and lunges, you're going to see a lot of this. Torso stays upright, knee drives forward a lot. I'm kind of like, you'll see that a ton. You'll see it with lunges, reverse lunges, forward lunges, walking lunges. The way to make it look a little bit more like you're hitting your glutes, torso goes forward, knee stays back more. I can feel that in my glutes right now. You may still feel it in your quads. Your quads may still burn up. If it looks like what the last one I just showed you, it's hitting your glutes more, so you gotta trust that. You may find you might have to lower the weights as you do that because your quads are actually stronger than your glutes. So if you have to do that, go lower on the weights and learn to do it to hit your glutes more. As far as how to stick your split squats into your own programs, they can go pretty well anywhere on a lower body day or even a whole body day. They can go at the front of your workout for more strength purpose and lower reps, or they can go at the end of a workout for a more muscle and endurance. 3 to 4 sets at 8 to 12 reps tend to be where I put myself and most of my clients. Nothing says you can't go above that or below that for whatever reasons you want. More strength on the lower end at 5 or 6 reps. I probably wouldn't bother training it too much around the 3 or 4 sets just because you'll get too heavy with the weights, and it is an exercise that requires a lot of balance, so there is a risk factor to it. So I would stick between 8 to 12 reps per set. Once you get strong enough of there, I would move on to Bulgarian split squats and different cycle-like exercises like that.